I'm excited to be talking to a good friend of mine now. We've collaborated, and this gentleman is an amazing human being, a serial entrepreneur, great family man. And I want to welcome Keith Gober to season 2, episode 8, I believe. Hello, Keith. How are we doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Damien.
Awesome to have you on, Keith. We were just having another live video prior to this. We were actually, talking about the release of our Shopify store, which is awesome. And in this video today, guys, we're going to be talking to Keith. And Keith is a very special human being. And Keith is actually one of the very successful people that came onto our app and that found collaborations, that found a great partnership and got a deal through the Pitch Investors Live app. And for anybody that is not familiar with our product helps entrepreneurs and startups from around the world, regardless of where you are, location, to connect with investors, to get your idea, your product, your service in front of people through our app. So this is a perfect opportunity right now because we're all, confined to our house, confined to our geographical location. We can't travel, and this is the perfect use case to show you how you can connect with people through a video like this, through technology that we're doing here at Pitch Investors Live. So Keith, thank you again, and I hope you're staying safe. Where are you calling in from today?
I'm in Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee. I've never been there, but I want to go and see the music, see what it's like down there.
Well, okay, come on, I'll show you around.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So for anybody watching right now, just put a comment below. Let us know where you're coming from. Let us know what business you have. Let us know, potentially if you want to, a chat with Keith throughout the interview. If you want to chat with me, if you want to get to know us more. And we've been running this podcast now for probably about a year now, and this podcast brings on entrepreneurs that have big visions, that are leaders, that are visionaries, that have great products, ideas, and services. And we're going to talk about Keith's experience with the Pitch Investors Live team and how he got an actual deal with one of the most well-respected and influential authorities in the investment space. So first of all, Keith, before we begin, why don't you frame the picture and tell us about who you are and how you got to become an entrepreneur before any of the pet brand appeared. So what's your background, Keith?
Sure. So who I am is an interesting question. I'm a sports fanatic and a huge dog lover. I've had dogs all my life, and my family, my dad, mom, my brother, and I. When I was a kid, we would get around the TV and watch college football and college basketball, and we'd have our dogs that we played with, and so I've carried that over to my family now.
Awesome. Yeah, traditionally in Ireland as well, Keith, that's where we were. The household, it was all about watching the football game, watching the hurling game, and coming together watching the sports, and sports have always been a big part of my life, and. Sure. I think we all start somewhere, right? So that's awesome to see. And how many was in your family, Keith?
So it's, when I was a child, I have one sibling, Kevin, who's one of the most inspirational people in my life, but probably one of the hardest working guys you'd ever run across. And my father and mother. And then now I have 3 children, Stephen, who's 21, Faith, who's 19, and Wesley, who's 5, and then I have my wife and my partner in Mangled Mascots at 26 years, Robin.
Wow, that's awesome.
And then most importantly, the reason why this was created, our 11-year-old golden retriever, Lucy.
And I've seen Lucy because we've been on video chats before. Beautiful dog, and I think everybody in your group has seen Lucy, and she gets a lot of attention.
She does. She was the inspiration for all of it.
Yeah, that's awesome, and that's all. And just to give you guys some context, I grew up on a family farm, and we didn't allow dogs on the farm because just in case something happened with the animals and stuff like that. It's only when I came to America I discovered, how much dogs are part of our daily life, how much warmth and how much loyalty and how much beauty they bring into our life. And funny enough, Keith, I actually launched my first business here too, which was selling dog products. So
Right.
it goes to show you, like in the American market, I'm sure all over the world, people love dogs, and you've really started something awesome. And that takes me, Keith, to the idea, right? How did you start the brand, and how did you come about saying, you know what, I have such a passion for what I do. I have such a passion for Lucy, such a passion for the people that I'm brought up with. Where did the vision, where did the mindset come to say, I'm going to turn this into a business?
So it's kind of a crazy beginning, but it was in the fall during football season, United States football, SEC football, which is I'm in the heart of it right now. But it was in the fall, and Lucy we would buy her these little toys with the squeakers in them, and it seems like her happiest, maybe after she ate or when she was real playful, she would really just mangle those little toys. And she was trying to get the little squeaker out, like all dogs do. They love those little squeakers, and so we would go to where she spends her time in our house and just see them all over the place, just totally destroyed. Squeakers were nowhere to be found, and so she, like I said, I mean, she would mangle them. That's basically what she did. And so I went in a local big box store that anybody who's a pet owner has been in, and I was walking through the aisles to buy her a toy, actually, and this was several years ago, and I saw some like jerseys for college teams and a little other little outfits for college teams for dogs, and I thought, well, I would just buy a toy with that on there, and I couldn't find it, and I thought that was odd, and so from the aisle that I was in, I called my best friend and really the brains, other than my wife Robin, behind it. I called my friend Alex Dowdy, and I said, "Hey Alex, have you ever seen anything like this?" And Alex is a very respected banker locally, and a pet lover himself. And so he couldn't find it either. And so I made a couple of phone calls and found out that nobody was making what I wanted to make. There was a complete hole in the market, and it still exists today, but it won't for much longer.
Wow, incredible. And what's crazy, Keith, is the majority of great products and great services and great ideas, they come out of a necessity. They come out of a need, and what you describe is a perfect example of something that you saw. You had value. You had value on this item. You had a need. You went and you tried to figure out, where to find it, where to buy it. And instead of saying, you know what, it doesn't exist, you went ahead then and you had the intelligence, and you had the people and the loyalty and the collaboration around you to go ahead and start your business. And I don't think we've mentioned the brand yet. So do you want to show on your T-shirt
Yeah.
and
So this
disclose the
is
brand?
this is just the brand. It's called Mangled Mascots, and it makes sense considering that Lucy mangled all those toys, and we wanted to make it playful and fun and incorporate sports with it. When we watch sports, there's that 2.5 hour to 3.5 hour time where our pets may not be around. Sometimes they are, but the happiest times for my pet, at least, and the ones that I've owned in my life, are when they're chewing on something and getting after those squeakers and really having a good time. And so we thought it was a great way, and talked to Robin and Alex, and we thought it was a great way to incorporate our pet teammates, the pet that we love, that's a part of our family, like 9 out of 10 people in the United States. We wanted that pet to enjoy the game. So during that game, when something good happens, that our Lucy is going to tear up that mascot of an opposing team. If something bad happens, Lucy's going to tear up that mascot of the opposing team.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. So you had this idea now, you had this vision. So the next steps to the story now, guys, is so just like any entrepreneur out there, you may be watching this right now and you have a great product idea or service, okay? And you've always wondered, how can I get this idea? How can I get this product to market, okay? And it's very difficult, if you want to get your product into Walmart, or you want to get into Target, it's very difficult, right? That's one of the biggest struggles as an entrepreneur. How do we get noticed? How do we get people to come in and be part of our vision of, what we're trying to achieve? And Pete, how did you actually take what you had now? You had a really good idea, and how did you say to yourself, you know what, I need to find the people to surround with? So what was your first encounter with Pitch Investors Live? Or or how did you connect with us? I'm trying to remember back.
Yeah. So I actually found you guys on Facebook through two mutual friends, Joe Shermer and Gerardo Tafoya, and they were at a Pitch Investors event in South Florida the end of last summer, I think. And I watched the whole thing. I watched Kevin Harrington's interview with Grant Cardone. I watched all the interaction, and I was just amazed at how people just like me were able to meet people like Kevin Harrington and Grant Cardone and a ton of the other, amazing investors that you have out there. So um, Joe and Gerardo, I had told them about Mangled Mascots, and they encouraged me to contact pitch investors. And so I did. And I think the first person I met was Diane, and she was amazing and really warm and inviting and gave me confidence in what pitch investors did. And so that was kind of the beginning of
Yeah.
my introduction.
Yeah, we had created the event last down in Miami at the Faina Hotel, and we just had some incredible entrepreneurs and Gerardo, amazing human being, Joe, they're amazing. Those two guys that introduced you to pitch, and we just had some great connections down there. And your example was a perfect example. You got introduced to Pitch Investors Live to a friend, and that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to connect people from around the world, regardless of who you are. Okay, what experience you have, you're going to get an opportunity through Pitch Investors Live. So then you connected with Diane, and Diane's amazing. She helps us with all the social media. She helps us with the onboarding. She helps you get set up on the app. She helps you with any questions. She's amazing. She has been with us for so long, and we couldn't be Pitch Investors Live without Deanne. She's incredible. So then you got connected, right? And sometimes, when we're so fired up and we're so energetic about our ideas, we want to be very careful about how we take the next steps. So the
Sure.
next step, I believe, Keith, you took was you got connected with Deanne, and then we had a review of your pitch deck. Was that the next step, Keith?
Yes, that was. So Danny put me in contact with Ashley Cheek, and so what Ashley, her role for me was to basically coach me and prepare me to give my pitch, and that was working on our pitch deck, working on our business plan, really kind of teaching me how the process works, so I could put my best foot forward when I made my pitch, and really. I was so impressed, just like I was with Diane, with Ashley. She was just amazing, just unbelievably professional. Just in every sense of the word. And so I spoke. I had a scheduled appointment to talk to her, just like this. I didn't have to hop on a plane and go anywhere.
Yeah.
I didn't have to. There's nothing crazy that I had to do. Just like we're talking, she pops up and we talk, and she's looking at the documents that I had sent her, and so it was a super easy process. And I met her and went through what the vision was for Mangled Mascots, and she helped me refine that.
Yeah, Ashley's amazing, and again, Ashley spoke at that event in Miami. And we've always looked for people that can add value to our company. And Ashley has the experience. She's done many, many different pitch decks. And I think she was a real catalyst into taking your idea and taking your vision and then putting it on paper and then putting it in front of the right people. So Ashley is incredible. And again, in our app, we have a bunch of other leaders, visionaries, and experts. So that's the next step. So that's pretty awesome. And at this stage now, you're kind of getting excited, right? Because you have your vision now on paper.
Yeah, talking to Ashley, so you always want affirmation as an entrepreneur, and you don't always get it. And so as a kid who picked blackberries as a young kid and would take them to his ballpark and sell them by the quart and pint, I'd always had an entrepreneurial spirit because my mother and father and my brother worked so hard, and my dad walked in and out of a factory for 43 years to provide for our family, but he also had a little side business when I was a kid. And so, seeing all that, and then I developed it. And then, sometimes as an entrepreneur, you fall down, you skin your knees, and then you have to get back up. Well, that's happened to me, many times as well. And so, when I got to Ashley and just listened to her coaching and to listen to the things that she was telling me to prepare, one of the most surreal moments of my life, and I'll never forget it, is when Ashley told me how wonderful of an idea she thought it was. And, she's a true professional, like I said, in every sense of the word. And hearing that affirmation really, really helped me. And then I think she got in touch with someone. And, as soon as I knew it, I was told that I was going to be pitching Kevin Harrington in a week. And so, yeah, go ahead.
So that's kind of incredible. And what's very important is what you mentioned there. You said that numerous people told you it was a great idea. Numerous people supported you. And even right now, I'm looking at the comments here, and everybody resonates with the product because everybody has some pet or their aunt or their uncle, and they understand, whether it's a party, a birthday, whether it's a family occasion, whether you're out in the park, everybody loves dogs, everybody loves pets. And by giving them these little toys, it keeps them happy, keeps them enjoyable, it keeps them part of the family, and it's just really, really great to have around. So thank you to everybody for commenting. Thank you, Gerardo. Really appreciate you. Claire, we got a lot of different comments. Jennifer, Atlanta, Georgia in the house. So this is awesome. So the next step for anybody watching, right, guys? So you have an idea, you have a product, you have a service, right? So what we do then at pitch is we put you in front of investors and we say, okay, here's a product, and here's an investor that we think might be a good fit for you. So what we did in Keith's case was Keith got to pitch the original shark himself, Kevin Harrington. You've probably seen him. He has a massive track record. He's done millions of dollars. He is known throughout the industry. He's a great friend of mine, business partner. And now he's on board with Kevin's team, or Keith's team. So Keith, do you wanna go through the next stage now of,
Yeah.
I'm sure it was nervous because when I met Kevin, first of all, because I had first seen Kevin on TV when I was in Ireland 10 years ago. I was like, man, this shark is crazy. He's awesome. He's telling them like your idea sucks. And there's Barbara Corcoran and there's Damon John and all these people.
Yeah.
Hey, you're right, your idea sucks. So how must it have felt, Keith, pitching the shark himself?
It was surreal. It was absolutely terrifying in a sense. But honestly, and I have to give credit to Ashley. She took time to prepare me for that meeting. And when I say that, I mean, I had 2 consults with her, almost 2 hours that we talked, and we exchanged emails, and we were trying to refine the pitch because, Ashley was invested in me. She wasn't invested in Mangled Mascots. She was invested in me. And that's what you guys do at Pitch Investors is you guys invest in us as investors. And so she just she gave me every tool that I needed to be able to pitch Kevin to Mr. Harrington. And but still, even though I was prepared, I had my notes next to the screen. I was on my laptop. I had my phone ready because I want to take a picture of him because it was absolutely surreal. He popped up on my computer screen at 9 a.m. February 19th, 2020, which is my wife's birthday.
Wow.
And it was just an amazing moment.
Yeah. And so you're on this live pitch, or sorry, you're pitching Kevin right now. You have, your notes. You have, what are some of the questions that he's asking you? Like, what's the energy like? How are you setting the mood? Have you done your background checks? Have you done your research? How do you get him zoned in on what you have to offer? Because we've all seen it before. What's your elevator pitch? You've got literally one shot. You've got a particular amount of time, and you got to perform. You got to deliver. And the majority of the time, and Kevin tells me himself, I'm investing in people. I'm investing in loyalty. I got to trust this guy. So how did you actually manage to articulate, your vision, your product?
So Ashley prepared me and I studied Kevin. So I spent about a week. They told me on a Tuesday afternoon at like 3:00. Kevin's assistant emailed me and said, you'll be on the phone or you'll be on the computer screen just like this with Kevin at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. But I had a week to prepare. And so I not only did I have the research and the data about the market that I was trying to get into. I keep getting messages. People are sending. It's awesome. I appreciate people sending them. People that I really look up to are messaging me while I'm doing this. But so when I pitched Kevin, I kind of knew the things that were important to him, and they were important to me as well. And so we kind of fit the way we looked at things, and our business practices really fit. And so just talking to Kevin Harrington, it was surreal, and I was scared to death for about the first 10 seconds. But then after that, it was just me talking to a really kind, generous man who just happens to be, a guy that sold $5 billion worth of products over the last 30 years, and it was great. By the end of our conversation, I there's another message. I felt confident that we were going to land the deal, which was, I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah, and what's crazy is people will go on Shark Tank, they'll spend so much time, energy to travel, to go to the auditions. Then there's a pre-audition, and then there's a select people get qualified and they get to go on this TV show and they get, a certain amount of time. So that's why we wanted to figure out, Keith, when we were building Pitch Investors Live, our goal was, okay, how can we solve this problem of all these super, smart, intelligent people all over the world that have great products, get great ideas, that have, been trying to put their idea out there to the world, but they haven't got the opportunity. And that's why we termed the phrase the future of opportunity. So in your case, you got the opportunity, you sat down with an expert, you pitched, you delivered, you resonated with his message, he resonated with you, and the story began from there. So Keith, what were some of the questions, like just for people watching right now, and you don't have to disclose them if you don't want to, but what were some of the questions Keith might have asked you? Like, so people can be prepared?
Well, I think the general question that the first question that most people ask in these situations is what problem does it solve? That's, it's basically sales and marketing 101. And so that was the first question. And the problem it solved, obviously, is it put our pet teammates with us. It got them excited. It brought them into the family, and it created a fun time for everybody together. And then after that, we talked business philosophy. And then I think Mr. Harrington, as we talked, he saw the passion I had, and he saw the vision, and he began to slowly see it. Now, he saw a part of the vision at that moment. At the end of our conversation, he said to me, he said, I agree with you about Mangled Mascots. What are you doing next week? And
Wow.
I thought, well, everybody who's watching this, if Kevin Harrington says, what are you doing next week? You don't play coy. You say whatever you want me to do. And so
it's like, Keith, it's like when I was young and I'm at the teenage disco and a girl comes up to you and say, hey, Damien, I got to go right now, but what are you doing next week?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. When the pretty girl at the dance talks to you, you talk back to her. And so just like my wife, when my wife talked to me, I was like, yes, ma'am, what do you need me to do? So Robin and I, my wife, we flew down and met Kevin and Brian Harrington in Orlando. He asked me to come down and visit his team. And so Robin and I flew down at the Pet Expo. We met Kevin in person. And one of the craziest things was his assistant gave me his cell phone and said, hey, just call him when you get here, text him, and he'll come out and meet you. And Robin and I were taking bets on whether or not he would even actually do that. And so when we got there, sure enough, he came walking out, and people were taking pictures of him, and he was so nice and engaging and warm, and introduced me to Brian, and really kind of Brian fell in lockstep with his dad. He's just an amazingly talented guy and really warm. And not only are their business philosophies the same as mine, their personal philosophies are too. And that actually has been cemented in my heart and my mind since our interactions from those days. And I knew that I wanted to do business with these two men if at all possible. And we found a way to work it out. Once their business character and their business philosophy matched personally, I knew that we had a chance to make something really special. And so far, we're well on our way to creating something that we believe is going to be the most recognized pet sports brand in the world. And as we go through time, that brand will evolve.
Awesome. And I love what you say about Brian, because even though Kevin is incredible, Brian is such a visionary, and he's taking a lot what Kevin has done now, and he's taking it digital. So he's a real digital marketing expert. And I've had many conversations with Brian, and I love networking with him. And also, there's another side to the story, Steve. So Steve is all part of the whole family, and they've built a really strong they built a really strong organization at Harrington Enterprises. So I'm so excited. And the reason actually why you and I connected and we got on so well was because I knew how scalable this product is. This is a product that can be scalable into many niches,
Yeah.
many industries, many, NFL and NBA. So like the world is your oyster. This product has just so much potential.
You reached out to me February 28th or 27th, right around in there. It was about 9 a.m. and you said, let's get on a call. And
Yep.
when Damien Coughlan says, let's get on a call, you make yourself available. I mean, your reputation precedes itself. You're a master in that industry, the online stores and print on demand. I mean, you've done, and I follow you, you know that. And we've developed a friendship, even though we've never sat next to each other or 6 feet from each other nowadays. But we've talked on the phone many times, and we've done this, more than once. And so I knew that something special was happening um, after I left with the Harringtons, and when you expressed interest as well.
Mm, awesome, awesome. So now we're at the stage, Keith, is you have all these things going on. You have I bet a bunch of people inquiring like how to work with you. You've probably got all this
Yeah.
stuff going on. So how do you know as like the leader, as the visionary, as like how do you decide now on what moves to make and what are you doing right now? I see you have a group. If anybody's watching right now, you want to get into Keith's group. It's called Mangled Mascots. Is that right, Keith?
That's right. It's we have a Facebook group, and that's really the best way to get in touch with Mango Mascots right now. You're on the front end. Anything that we do, you're on the front end of it. It's announced in there, and it's a great group. We share ideas, and we share photos, and we share stories. But that's if you want to be kind of an insider right now. That's the best place to do it. It won't be long before we launch. But that's the best place to go to see what we're doing. You'll even get some early information on merchandise and stuff.
Mm. And if people want to reach out to you directly, I guess we'll have your contact details will be in the group. Is that correct, Keith?
That's correct. If anybody has any questions, want to talk to me, I'm more than happy to. I mean, I'm a real person. I'm not paid for this. I'm getting no compensation for this. I believe wholeheartedly in Pitch Investors Live. I believe what you guys do because your product and your people has so much quality and they have so much value that you've changed my life,
I
and that's
love
the truth.
that. I love that. That's incredible, and I really respect you saying that, Keith. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, you've definitely encouraged a lot of other people out there because we've been inundated inside the app. How did Keith do this? How did Keith do that? What did he do? Who did he consult with? So now we're having a bunch of other people that are looking to start their business, right? We're in very, I wouldn't say uncertain times, but we're going through a revolution right now, somewhat. And whatever you're doing, guys, whatever you're trying to build, stay committed, stay on course. Like this wasn't an overnight thing. Keith has been working on this for so long. So for people watching out there, Keith, like what I've gone through ups and downs. I'm sure you've gone through them, Keith. Like
Sure.
what would you recommend people to do if they have a business or they have an idea and they haven't got the traction? Every time they go up, they go down, and it's like a roller coaster. Is it all about partnerships? Is it all about like connecting yourself with a good team, a good family? Like what would you recommend people right now? They have an idea and they can't get any traction.
Sure. So, and this is how I wake up every day, and it's how I build my life. So the foundation of my life is my faith in Jesus Christ, and I truly believe that I can get through anything through that faith. And so, and I don't say that lightly. My wife wakes up every day at 4:30 to pray for me, and we've gone through plenty of ups and downs in our life, business events where they didn't go the way I thought they should go, or whatever. And there were times probably where I felt sorry for myself and lost confidence. But the one thing that I would say to people is when you look in the mirror, you have to have confidence in that person that you're looking at, and everything else will start from that point. And so, just having confidence and being a little vulnerable to go out and to pitch your idea to people and to hear all kinds of different comments. Not everybody is going to like your idea, although with Mango Mascots, I've met people all over the United States. It's in many, many, many different places, and it resonates. There are a handful of people that it doesn't. But when I say handful, I mean handful.
Yeah.
And so we're really excited about that. But as far as entrepreneurs, believe in yourself. This particular platform, it's unique, it's special, and we look for those qualities in life. When you find a unicorn, you stay with it. Do you want to take pictures of the unicorn? Do you want to be associated with it? I truly believe that Pitch Investors Live is a unicorn. Like I said earlier, you don't have to hop on a plane to go do this. You can do it from your living room. You can do it from your car. And the idea that I had was simple, but yet the more I talked to the people at Pitch Investors, with Diane and you, and with Ashley, it opened up. It allowed me to be more creative. To be honest with you, Mangled Mascots is a toy, but Mangled Mascots is also a brand. And so the catalyst to the brand is this particular toy and a couple other items that we will start out with initially. But as far as the brand goes, and you talked about it, it's unbelievably scalable. So when you have that support group around you, I have a wonderful mother and father. I have a brother that's been my idol my whole life. And I have a wife and children, and mother-in-law Nancy, and father-in-law Ted, who have supported me during my goofy days. When you have that, and friends and family, Alex and Tracy and Van and Chris and all the different people watching right now. I've learned from all those people, and I appreciate their love and their grace. And you just work. You just work the problem, and that's what we did. And Pitch Investors, there's no better platform anywhere. And like I said, I say that genuinely, and I'm the perfect example. And I'm a real person. You can reach out to me on Facebook.
There you go, guys. Keith, we're coming up to 30 minutes, and I'm very respectful of your time. I know you got a bunch of meetings. I'm sure you're probably getting ready for the weekend. You've got, obviously, Lucy and your amazing wife and all the bunch and the group that you're engaged with every day. I love being in a group, because every day I go into the group, I see a new photo, something new, and I know that your group is going to go through the roof. I know that this brand is something that is going to evolve. It's going to turn into something absolutely wonderful. And I'm, delighted for you. You're a great guy, and I definitely want to meet with you in which city again is it, Keith?
It's Nashville.
Nashville, yeah.
Country music. Come on, Damien.
I gotta go to Nashville. So if you were watching on the replay, guys, if you're watching this and you missed the start of the video, let me summarize. So Keith came onto our platform, and he has an awesome idea. Mangled Mascots, check it out. A beautiful pet product, and he's looking to do some big things in the world. He got on, he pitched the grand shark himself, Kevin Harrington, the original shark from Shark Tank. He got that one-on-one FaceTime, and then he went and met him in person, secured a deal, and now he's looking to take his brand to the next level. And through your love, your support, reach out to him, give him a follow, get him into the group. If you've got any ideas, you want to collaborate with him, I'm sure he might be open to it. But I want to thank you so much, Keith, for joining us on Pitch the World episode, our season number 2. It's been a roller coaster, and we're bringing entrepreneurs like you, leaders, people that want to change the world, onto this show. And I thank you once again. I thank you to Gerardo. I thank you to Joe. I thank you to everybody that helped you on your journey. So if you've got any last remarks, or you want people to follow you, and maybe someone that has an idea how they can help you keep on growing.
Hey, thank you for watching. Believe in yourself. Look that person in the mirror and have confidence in that person. Reach out to Pitch Investors. There's no other platform like it anywhere.
Thank you, Keith. God bless, and have a safe rest of your week. Thank you, guys.
See you, buddy.
Bye.